Guys, welcome back to Bistify. Here I have come up with the most awaited video of my AI ML playlist, and that is the Sagemaker. So what we are going to do is we are going to prepare the dataset and train the model, deploy it, get the endpoint SageMaker endpoint, and we'll see if our ML model works. Our ML model for today is the student score prediction. Let's see if we can predict the score with the given data set. So for that, I would love to talk about the prerequisite first. So what you can do here is, I hope you have already gone through the SageMaker overview in this playlist, and hopefully you have gone through the functionalities and the features AWS SageMaker offers. So again, this course is not about writing the Python code and the writing the model. However, it is all about using the Python code to deploy or to train model using the SageMaker. So it's all about how we can utilize AWS AI services. SageMaker is one of them. SageMaker is the end-to-end ML service that we have from AWS. So let's quickly jump onto the hands-on. So I wanted to talk about prerequisite. The first prerequisite is you come here, notebook. That's what I prefer. You just create notebook instance. I've already done that because that takes a little time. That's the reason, just to save time on this video. So give the name, select. I have selected ml.t2 medium. You can select accordingly because that would would incur some cost. So you'll have to bear that cost. And this execution role, it creates it by default. It is there. However, if you don't have, you can create it. The only permissions this role should have, if you come here in the IAM role, let me open this role. So this is the same role. Make sure by default it comes with this SageMaker full access permission, but you will have to assign S3 full access. You just come here, add permission, attach policies, and then say Amazon S3 full access, because we'll have to keep the dataset in the CSV format in the S3 bucket, and our output will also be generated in the S3 bucket is only. All right. So what we are going to do, we are going to run every other command manually, but after this video I'll create two more videos. One, we'll see how we can combine them and create with the use of Python. We can create the pipeline, like, or we can automate the process. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to host this uh, entire model. I'll host it on the EC2 machine. We'll run the Flask app, and then we'll try to see those prediction results on the browser itself. Okay. So nothing for now. Let's quickly jump on to the SageMaker. I'll click this, and now I will say Open Jupyter Lab. All right. So this is Jupyter Notebook, and I prefer to go ahead with the Python 3. So currently we don't have anything on the left side. However, what we can do here is we already have the codes here. These are the updated codes. So what we can do here is, I will not copy everything. So we have two ways. First, we can go ahead and simply copy and paste this and run it here through this box. We'll copy prepare data content and then paste it here and then click run. Else, what I prefer to do, I already have these as the Python script, so I'll upload the files here. I will not upload everything in this directory, but I will upload students.csv to have the input data, and then we'll prepare the data according to the given data set, and then we'll train the model, we'll deploy it, and this is optional, but still we'll do it. Validate. We now have all the files. Now what we are going to do here is we are going to first run prepare data. So how we run here is we don't do this Python 3 and prepare data. If I run this, I will get an error because this doesn't consider it as the you know uh, scripted pipeline. Oh, sorry, scripted command. So we'll have to tell that this is the this should be considered as the script. So what the thumb rule is here, we run this something like that. Python 3 exclamation mark we add in the beginning, and then we'll do this. And if I click this, since I already have students.csv, so if I click this, then it uploaded the data in this. This is the new S3 bucket creates every time, and it owns its own. Creates its own bucket. SageMaker. This has the functionality, inbuilt functionality of it. And now the very next command is to train it. Let's train the data. So we'll run again exclamation mark Python 3 train dot py. We'll hit tab. It will come by default, and then we'll say run. Now it starts training the model. So the training job is being created with this name. If you want, we can verify it with this console training and tuning jobs here. So I do have these much of training jobs. That's what I tested it before creating this video, because earlier I was getting different errors. So I do not want to waste your time on the video troubleshooting the error. So I got this fixed. Every time I got the error, and I went ahead and fixed the script to go smooth, execution. So now, since the training job is being going on, meanwhile, I would love to show you this. This is the bucket. If you like to go through the AI ML stuff, what do you have? We have the handwritten notes of AI. We have the handwritten notes of machine learning, and along with that, we also have SageMaker components here. But prior to SageMaker, I would advise you to go through the prelim notes first, then glossary, AIML services, use cases, and then components of SageMaker. All right, let me just check again. Okay, it's doing something. It starting the training job, preparing the instances for training, and now it's downloading input data. Might not take much, but still will wait for this to get done. So it is now downloading the training image. That's great. So once this training job is completed, we will get the tar file that is in our s3 bucket, this s3 bucket, right? This would be uploaded here. So once we have the tar file path, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and edit this deploy right here only. We'll edit this. This should be edited with the updated model data. And since we already have the endpoint name defined in our deploy script, so it is uh, okay for us not to have the random name. So we already have defined it, and it would be useful. I'll show you why. But let's go ahead and first check the training job. Well, I'll close this. So I'm using this as a script. However, what you can do is you can go ahead and if you have saved it in local, you can simply run this script manually. Just copy and paste it. Okay. So it's trying to write from the hook. I'm sorry. Yeah, hook with the PID. Training job is completed. That's great. Now what we'll do, I'm just waiting for this to give me model artifact. I have got this tar file. Now what I'll do is, like I showed you earlier, I'll open this. I'll update the model data here. I'll save it. and I don't think I have anything else to do. Let's quickly deploy this. So for deployment, again Python 3, I forgot exclamation here, and then we'll say deploy dot py and hit run. Now it's trying to um, take the training job, this image model artifact, I would rather say, and it is saved in different path. It is in output folder. If you would like to verify, I can show that to you. Let me copy this bucket name and come here, and I'll not here in the service s3. I'll open the service, and in s3 bucket I would be having, I think, two bucket. Okay, one bucket. So I do have this bucket, and I do have this output as the data. I think this was for earlier job. I ran it. The latest one is according to the time, uh, date and time, you can assume. So this is the output we are getting, and here, if I go back, this was the student data that we imported, right? It's trying to deploy. Let me see if it has created deployment models and the configuration here on the left side. Let me see under deployable models. I do have Sagemaker XGBoost. In the configurations, I do have configurations as well. And last but not the least, endpoint, which is being created. If you see the status, it says created. Now let me go back to deploy here. So once deployment is completed, I will get the endpoint name of the endpoint, which we already have though. But let's see what's the output we are getting here. So according to our deployment script, I have mentioned it here to show me the endpoint deployed and predictor ready, and then with the endpoint name. So it will print this output for me. Let's see. It is being created, and what I will do here is I have this in the local, and for you guys I will simply modify the relevant files and upload it to the GitHub repository. I'll try to create new repository for this so that you can simply clone it and then can trust it. Clone it like this. Since you are working on SageMaker, and I am assuming that you are aware of how to clone this repository and play with it. All right. Now, okay, just waiting to this endpoint get completed. It is still creating in service, so I think it's done, and we are about to get now the output or the message, print message, that we have defined in our deploy script. So endpoint deployed and predictor ready, and name is student score endpoint, and that's what we also see here, student score endpoint. So we are good here. Now it's time for to run the validation. What we have in the validation, we have in the validation that it's picking up this endpoint name as the inference endpoint, and it is trying to get the single prediction as well as the batch prediction. So it is trying to test if a student studies 5 hours and the attendance percentage is 80, how much would be the score. Likewise, we have three entries here. It will predict it accordingly. So I'm going to run this right away, Python 3, and then validate.py, and then we are done. If I execute it, it will simply give me the output. So what output we have for the single prediction? We have 65 as the score. For the multi prediction, we have 65. For the first entry, we do have the 40 as the second entry, Third entry we have 89.9. It's almost close to 90%. So that's what we have in the production. In the validation, if a student studies for 2 hours, 60 percent is attendance, he would get 40. If the 8 hours is the total and then 95% is attendance, then you would get 89.9%. That's great. So that's all the basic SageMaker use case we have taken. In the next video, what we are coming up with is to browse this and deploy this entire SageMaker solution to the EC2 machine, and we'll try to browse this with the entry, same entry. We'll try to input the data by our own, and then we'll click predict, and then let's see what it throws. Okay, so I wish you good luck. Try it on your own, and let's see if we can do this. If you can do this with in your lab environment, and let's catch you up in our next video.